Well, I hope you all are ready for a good old-fashioned jump scare because here it comes. Yeah, so while I was on the phone, I just went and did some of the yellow and the purple on the rest of my face. And we're looking a little crazy bananas. And sometimes it's like, oh, this is going to be good. Because, like, if it looks like trash, then it'll look bad until the very end. And then you pull it all together and and then sometimes it just looks bad the whole time. Never gets any better, and in fact, it just gets worse. And then you take a turn, and actually, you hope that's going to be the turn that makes it look better, and then actually still is awful. So we'll just play it by ear. So I have a brush that I like to use for my water-based black. Why can I not find this? Because I want to. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna get some water. Okay, and then I'm using this huge brush to paint my neck. And cut my ears into like a different shape. Now, the moment that the wet black water-based makeup gets in contact with the grease paint of it all, it's going to kind of bead up, and it's not going to lay the same way because the cream makeup is oil-based. So oil, water, But we'll blend it out. No worries. I forgot to turn my music back on. Now, I'm not worried about it being super black because I'll fix that later because it's going to like crease in my neck anyways. So it's just not worth it. So I have my beauty sponge that I just used for white somewhere. Where would it be? I've tried a little bit. Let me see if I can spinach. Okay. So just use this one. If you're wondering what is going on, I'm just doing a alien themed makeup. And what alien is inspiring this, I have no idea. hello, welcome in. But I'm just applying, like reapplying all my colors. So I wanted something yellow to tie in my hair color, and then purple and then black just kind of were colors that I wanted to add kind of regardless. So while this is very wet and it is, you know, covered, yes, I'm going to apply some of my Ben Nye Super White. This is a setting powder that is super white, and it's kind of been the staple for setting white, like clown white, for a very long time. So if you have something under it that is not white, it's not going to turn it white. However, it will lighten it. It's not a translucent powder that will just kind of keep the color underneath it the same pretty much. This will actually lighten up quite a bit. So sometimes if I want something like super, super bright, and granted, like this is not gonna be like a wearable white or like a wearable bright color, because it will have tremendous flashback. However, but it will lighten up the colors around it. So the white isn't the most even, but I'm going to put details and things onto the face that I'm not really too worried about. Also, I'm just kind of like nonplussed with like life right now. So, you know, whatever. that's my theory on life right now. Whatever. So I'm just going to kind of touch around on my face and see what needs to be set. Now, some places we're going to pick up extra powder and they're going to need to be brushed off. But we'll save that for when we are using the yellow and the purple and the black to kind of okay, so the white's pretty set, and it looks crazy. But that's okay. Now I want to find a brush for the yellow. Okay, so first I'm going to start with a matte white. So I'm going to be using the Primal color from NYX and the yellow color. I want it to be the most yellow, the most primary yellow, kind of in the middle of this like ring around my face like design thing that I've done. I'll be blending it out in a little bit, but I'm just applying it right now. And it's being applied directly to a cream. There is no setting powder on top of the cream. So you can see in certain spots that it's attaching differently, where some places it attaches really heavily and like very pigmented, and other places it's not as pigmented because that already has like a little bit of powder on it. So I'm just going to apply that like that, and then I'm going to start kind of gently blending it into places that I know are powdered with the white powder. Because those places are going to be less sticky, and therefore they're going to be able to blend a little bit more. I didn't want to bring the yellow on my upper lip. I thought maybe we'll try something different and do something like with the upper lip. So we'll get like some triangular look. It's very classically alien-esque, but then having the upper lip kind of exposed and then like a V shape will be like semi like feline, just having like this exposed and lighter. But if it is brought in a little bit more like that, then it'll give kind of a different shape. So I'm just trying new stuff. I don't really care how it ends up looking. Just like, does this look cool? Is this something I'd try again? Now, what I'm going to do once I get kind of the colors around my face kind of blended, kind of where I want them to go, then I'm going to come in and do the details with the eyes and the nose and details of my lips and stuff. Hey, Winter. I'm looking very demure. I hope you're doing well. I know you had a rough day yesterday, but I hope I hope all the things are just like a little bit calmer. But who knows? Life sucks. I mean, life is great. It's awesome. Right around my nose, it's already losing. Like, it just doesn't like to hold. Color, so it just gets all weird. So yeah, I was kind of thinking earlier about just how like one alien makeup is like super fun. I like doing alien makeup, but how like for me like my trans experience like the idea of like feeling kind of like an alien because I don't feel like I necessarily that has black on it. Oh no. Okay. Should have cleaned that brush beforehand. Okay, well, we already applied black there, so we're gonna apply black here. Okay. Well, that just happened. Okay. This black is part of the look, right? Allergies are being about. I know you struggle with allergies. I mean, I have them, but luckily they're not as bad. But I know so many people deal with them more, and it's just miserable. I've seen it just makes people miserable. But yeah, I was just thinking about how like like being growing up, I didn't have words for what I like was or like felt like. I just felt different from a lot of people, and like how they talked about things, and so I felt kind of like an alien, and I felt just like weird, and that black ruined the shit out of this. Black, because that is so bad. Oh, the black is so bad. I want to like wipe this off and redo it. We'll see if I can save it. If not, I'll just wipe it off. Okay, I'm gonna do something that is likely gonna. It's gonna probably look bad, but okay. Let's see if I can get some like purple cream. Oh, fucking A. God, I'm so pissed off. I'm so pissed off at that. But yeah, just feeling like I was different and I didn't have a label for it. I just knew that I was different than other people, being queer and being trans. And so I feel that like that the idea of like being like part alien or like feeling like an alien like really resonated with me growing up. And even now, as I like talk about my gender, that's so bad. I fuck this. Fuck this. I'll be right back. God, I'm so annoyed at it. Boo hiss. This is probably gonna just like ruin the entire look, which was going so well, by the way. It was looking pretty stupid, but you know, even with looks that look stupid like that, they have a chance to like pull through. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, so before I had the white in this area, but now I'm just gonna put the purple by itself. I'm gonna put the yellow up here. So I can blend them together. It's not exactly the face shape I was going for, but I just, after that disaster, okay, we're already in a better place. Yeah. And so like, I really just like, I like felt like that, like feeling different and not really knowing where my place was supposed to be or like how I was supposed to feel or like relate to other people, I guess. I don't know. It wasn't really hard to relate to other people. There were some things that just were so markedly different for me that didn't feel that like other people didn't seem to like struggle with. And I don't know. I never felt like wrong or defective, like I said. I just felt different. Like that's, I have like, whenever I go into an appointment that's like for like gender affirmation and or like something like that, or I meet someone and I talk to them about me being trans for the first time, like a lot of times people will ask questions like, how long have you known? And they're like, did you know at an early age? And like for me, like, no, I didn't know I was trans at an early age. I didn't know what trans was. I just knew I was different. I knew I felt weird. That's why that's why the reason I have my like channel name as like Ian as a weirdo is because I don't even have music on. I don't know why I have this in. Oh, now I do. But like, it's because I felt weird. Like I felt different and weird, but I didn't feel bad about it. I embraced the fact that I was weird. I just was kind of weird, different than other people. And it was okay. It's okay to be different. It's actually super cool to be different and have your own, things that make you individual and embrace them. But I didn't have a label for that growing up. So yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, I guess I just have to feel like this. And then I had people telling me what I was, which was also like a really weird thing because like when I like before like people were like told me I was a lesbian and I was like, well, I guess like I mean I like girls, so sure. And so I didn't even like people came out for me. And I'm like, this is like okay, like I guess. But I didn't really think about it or care. Make sure I don't have another color in this fucking brush too. Really focus on that shape in there. You might be like, what shape? But I'm trying to make it look like something, not just like a blob of like random colors. So that is actually what it looks like. I didn't set the colors with like a translucent powder and then try to go in because I wanted the colors to be really vibrant. But that does make them more interesting to blend with for sure. Okay, so what I'm going to do while I have these colors out, purple's still very, very wet here. So I think it like didn't lay down enough color to. This brush is just bringing me nothing but disappointment. But yeah, I do like doing alien looks. They're fun because there's no like there's no defined rule about anything about what it should look like, and you can just go real wild and stupid with it, and sometimes it turns out super cool and sometimes it turns out really bad, really, really bad. So I'm gonna take a brush that's much smaller than this. I am going to use a brush to make sure that I don't have any excess of that white setting powder. Okay, so I'm gonna go in. Okay, I don't really want any white out here, or I don't want it to be like the focus. So I'm gonna start kind of filling this area in a little bit with purple. I'm healing a tattoo and I didn't pay for it. It's a froggy and it's blue. Oh, cool. Tattoos are so fun. And it's also nice that you didn't have to pay for a tattoo. Yay. Okay, I probably should put some primer, or I'm actually gonna take my cream white, even though it has a high propensity of creasing. I'm going to take it, and because I'm gonna set the fuck out of it with powder. Hopefully it won't be too bad, but we'll see. I know there was a little bit of yellow on that brush, but that's okay. I knew that time. Where did I put that brush? I don't know. My brain's really not working great today, but trying to figure out what I want to do with this nose. I feel like, I mean, it's so hard because we're so used to, you're at 40 now. Nice. I think I'm at like 8. Jealous. Maybe I could do like a multi-layered nose. Ooh, I have some chain, but I have to cut it and it's going to ruin a pair of my scissors. I do have a couple pair of scissors, but it's going to ruin it. Or I could just do it with shadow, which could look cool, or it could look really bad. Okay, let me find that Linoleum mesh. Here it is. And all of this shadow is matte, so it's not going to pick up any light. So it's not going to pick up a lot of the anatomy underneath. So that's why my face looks a lot more flat. Like you don't see the dimension of my nose and everything as much. And then you can, if you, again, obviously you're doing this makeup look with me. You can apply the shimmer shine where you want to. Okay, that's really light. I don't know if it's even. I feel like I'm kind of giving like Klingon nose. That doesn't go into the forehead. Sorry. I always really like this kind of like swoopy eye shape. I feel like it just looks super cool. So, and I've seen it, a lot of other people do this similar shape, so I think we all have agreed that it looks cool. Uh, scared the shit out of me. I'm so jumpy. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this fuchsia pink color and I'm going to go in and kind of brighten up and drag out the purple color. And I feel like this, because of my brow covering, it's grabbing the pigment differently here. So I'm just going to take advantage of that, and I'm going to use that to make like a faux crease type situation. And basically like exactly where my brow is naturally, I'm going to just make a fake crease and take the pink. Just going to take the pink. Just make sure I'm even, because my brows are not naturally even. So put the pink, and then I'm going to go in with, I'm going to put the yellow down first. I'm just going to take the same brush, and then I'm going to use the yellow. Kind of pat it down. And then blend the pink kind of where they begin to overlap a little bit. So we're getting a little sunsetty in the colors as the pink kind of combines with the pink. As the pink combines with the pink, yeah. The pink combines with the yellow, and then gets whatever. Whatever. Jesus Christ, this is a mess. Hey, Lori. I'm removing the features underneath. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's why if you wear like a lot of matte foundation and stuff like that, it starts to make you look really flat. But if you wear a lot of shimmery and things and luminous foundations and products, it starts you start to highlight all your features. So it's good to kind of have that knowledge of like where to place things, so you can do whatever you want. So right now I'm going to I'll put that. So I'm going to apply the black with the same brush that black was on in the first place that ruined everything. And I'm going to blend into the purple. Now, any places that we didn't set the purple, it's really going to grab the black. But if you did set it with the purple shadow, it won't grab the black as much. The black will still be there, it just won't be as intense. I probably could have done a better job with my black application on my neck, but I said it before, I'll say it again, I'm lazy. Don't want to. Okay, so I think that I want to apply a little bit of, this is the Lumiere powder from Ben Nye, and I'll apply a little bit of that kind of on the cheekbone area so we can get kind of some shape going on here. Okay, motherfucker. Come on. I'm just blending out where I want to have some more yellow and some shine. It's subtle, and especially in a context like this face that's going on. But I really don't know if this is going to shape out. I think the eyes have high potential, but the bottom of the face, we're going to see, because I don't know. I truly don't know. I think like a cool like top lip being black, and then I don't know, like if I can get like a cool shape, but then it might just look like a mustache. I'm not sure, but I think we can work with the eyes. Okay. I was gonna use my water-based makeup, but then I was like, oh, I have like a ton of powder on my face. I don't know if that'll work. That'll probably work with the cream covered. Yeah, let me go get those. Okay, let's get make a brush clean. Okay, so I'm going to go in and start creating some lines. Okay, we have one thing. Can we make it on the other side? TB fucking D. It's also hard because my hand tremors. Okay, now that is much thicker, so. Okay. Something like that, but better. Okay, so that could look pretty cool if we make it work, if we continue this process of having things kind of match on either side. You know, so. Oh, that's a real thick line where I didn't want one. Okie dokie. Actually, it looks pretty even. Okay, I'm being too harsh on myself. It looks pretty even. I need to be nicer to myself. Okay, I'm okay. I'm okay. I want to do more with eyeshadow around here, so I'm gonna stop with eyeliner for a second to figure out some kind of eyeliner or some eyeshadow situation. I'm gonna take the pink color and place it here. I have no idea what I'm doing. Like, I know I'm putting eyeshadow on my face, but like, I don't have a plan, and I can't emphasize that enough. And then I think I want a light pink to kind of blend it all out underneath. Do I want a light pink? No, I want a light orange. Oh god, it looks so cute. I can't bear it. Just kidding. But it's not that bad. Okay, so I have this orange palette from ColourPop, which is a fuck ton of oranges. So okay. So it goes into the yellow out there. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I'm glad one of us is thinking that, because I'm like, what am I doing? I'm gonna take it onto my cheeks because I'm going to kind of start moving my cheek area into a little orange situation. I don't want it to be darker. I feel like this doesn't even look orange, but it might on this white. I'm using the lightest color of the creates, yeah, because it's darker, it created shape that the shine of the yellow kind of looks a little weird now. So I'm just going to try to blend it into it a little bit better. And sometimes the name of the game is just committing. You know, you're like, that doesn't look great. Commit. And, you know, a good percentage of the time it works out. I mean, sometimes it doesn't. That's okay. It's makeup. It comes off. That, like, whoa, this orange is doing some weird shit. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to go back over it with the yellow, but the non-shiny yellow. Just so I can get like the tone back, because the tone is wrong. It's like a brown. Okay. It's not really what I wanted at all, but it's not that bad. Okay. I'm going to go back and pull the orange out here, but I'm not going to pull it into the cheeks like I had talked about doing, because I thought that looked fucking terrible. I feel like just like having some orange on my nose. Just want to have orange on my nose. Pull a little bit of that yellow in as well. Okay. We're going in a direction. A good direction. I will let you be the decider of that. And then over here, I feel like I kind of like the fact that it's white. So I'm going to put a matte white and then kind of blend it out into this area. Now this white is not the most pigmented, but it's doing a good enough job. And I like the way that that kind of brightened up the outside of my eye. Now, I always want to put wing liner on everything. I feel like it's kind of like been like trained into me. So I feel like everything always looks better with a wing liner. But then it's like, if you're doing this like makeup that it's not supposed to look like anything that other, that like, you know, is normal. Like, it doesn't make sense to have wing liner, and I don't know the answer to that because I had to make the rules. Okay, I do have yellow liner, and then I can make most colors with liner. I also have some metallics, which I think metallics might be a really cool move. Okay. I definitely think black on my lip is going to be what I want. But how I want to do it, I'm not quite sure. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take like that much off of my top lip, so that it doesn't get like crusty. And then I think that because I was going to do kind of like this kind of movement up into my mouth with the liner. However, I feel like that's just going to look like a handlebar mustache that I just painted on my face. And that's not what I was going for. So I think that I'm going to go actually with a really thin lip, because I think that so often when I do makeup and when makeup's done recently, like everyone goes for bigger lips. It's just a good look. It would be all like, oh my gosh, so much powder. Okay, it's good powder. Donut. Forgot there's powder there. But I'm like, you could go for like a smaller lip. And I feel like when you think of like aliens, you think of like little small, tiny lips. No, like you might notice that I already have quite small lips, but what if I had no lip? Just like a hole. You said it, not me. Hmm. Yeah, maybe I'll do that, and then I'm gonna take the. Okay, so I'm gonna set my top lip with the white shadow, and it's nice and matte, so kind of reduce some of that like natural ridge of my lip. See how it kind of just starts to disappear. So we put that matte white color on top. And then the bottom, I think I'll use the orange. Kind of on the inside. Start my lip like that. That's not the worst. Go. Kind of reinforce it with some of that purple. It's just it's not a cool lip. It's just a lip, but whatever. Whatever. And I think I want something under here. I might do just like some symbols or something. Oh, I was gonna think about putting some gold into it. So yeah, I'll do that. I think I'm going to take a different brush, but I'm gonna put a little bit of like the black powder on it, and I'm gonna reinforce some of these lines. So they're a little bit more visible, but I didn't want to put like the eyeliner like level of depth on them. I think continuing both of these lines like down here would be cool. So I'll do that too. I'm like, does it sound like I know what I'm doing? Because I don't. I know it doesn't sound like I know what I'm doing. But fun of just creating. That's why like when I do like the Pinterest inspired stuff or something like that, I'm like, oh, just like like it's different like doing someone else's look or kind of knowing what you're doing and inspired by versus just kind of playing around and having fun. Okay, that's relatively even. I don't know if I like it, but it's relatively even. Oh, God. Okay. That's fine. I think I'm just gonna go straight because I really think I fucked up. I think that one's straight, but I'm not straight either, so whatever. I think that if I just double down on how bad this is and we go full like tiger face, then okay. Okay, whatever. I just don't like the way it looks. I don't think it's necessarily like wrong. I just, sometimes you do something and you're like, oh, this is gonna look really cool. And then you do it and it doesn't look cool. It's just like kind of like the nature of things. It kind of looks like eye bags, which could be a look. I feel like if we did some like dot work, that would be not the best. That's not the worst. I'm gonna fill these in. I'm just kind of making the circles right now. Yeah, so it's not necessarily about being wrong. It's just about not like having the look that you intended or wanted. And so that's where I'm be like, oh, I messed it up. It's like, oh, well, it's not actually necessarily wrong. It's just not what doesn't give the look that like in my mind. Oopsie doopsie, you just turned into a bigger circle. Okay, so I'm going to be using the gold on the other side of this. This is amulet. Um, oh no, you frogged. I'm assuming you frogged, and it autocorrected to drugged because I'm like, I don't know how you do that, but that sounds pretty intense. Yeah, it's like you just like want it to look one way and it just doesn't quite turn out. And you're like, ah, crap. Okay, so I'm filling in the circles with gold. It's metallic. But I think it looks really cool with the colors of frogs. Yes. I mean, whatever gets you to what you gotta do, I guess. Like, imagine, like, yeah, it doesn't make sense, but whatever you gotta do, I guess. But yeah, sometimes it's just like, yeah, you have this creative idea that doesn't always pan out. Okay, and then I am gonna do a wing because I can't help myself, but I'm gonna do it with the gold, and I think that will be cool. And then you know what? Let's just do the lower lip in the gold as well. Yeah, okay. That looks way cooler. That looks way cooler. And then we'll put the liner. Now I'm probably gonna go bigger than this, but I'm gonna start here because I would need to if I make a mistake on one side and need to go bigger, then it's the age old eyeliner dilemma of like this one gets bigger, then this one gets bigger, then this one. So starting out smaller is important. Also, if I open my eyes too early, actually this is starting to turn out really cool, isn't it? I'm really happy with this. See, it just takes a couple things to kind of move the scales. Okay, so I could definitely go bigger with that wing, but the bigger you go, the harder the fall, you know? It's like Icarus. I should have my fan. I don't want my fan. It's under a bunch of shit. Thank you. I appreciate it. That bottom lip, I'm happy that I thought about that because that turned the metallic just really turned it out. We just needed some shine. I look so gay. I'm just like, but the shoe fits. Fans backwards bothers me. Yeah, I feel like I belong in the Hunger Games, which I will take as a compliment to myself because they did fun makeup in the Hunger Games. I feel like I should do my contouring jowl trick a little bit for the black because I feel like it doesn't really change the shape of my face in the bottom that much. Like I still am dealing very much with a humanoid jawline. So I'm gonna move the black up a little bit. But I think after that, should be mostly done. I just didn't want to go into my ears too much because the thing is, it's easy to cut off an earlobe, like the bottom of an earlobe, with just putting black on it. But once you get into the folds of the ear and the contours of it, shaping it like that is a little bit more challenging. So, yeah. Whoopsies. Who did that? Okay, I'm just going to complete the liner. I'm not going to go bigger because I'm happy with how this is looking, and I'm not going to. Okay, let me get my fan. They're so violent. I'm gonna put some lashes on, I guess, just to say that I did. Because, like, every time I look back on pictures of makeup that I've done and I didn't put lashes on, they don't look right, which is annoying. Oh, shit. Oh, luckily it's dry enough. Okay. I was like, oh, did it stamp on the top? Good. Now, I don't have any metallic I'm not sure I could make any of my eyelashes metallic because what I typically do when I'm coloring lashes is I make them white, or if I have a cream that's the color I want, I paint them with the cream and then I set them with the powder. And I don't have, I mean, I guess I might have some metallic. I mean, I do have some metallic eyeshadow, but I don't know if they'll be like metallic enough. I did get some new lashes that are a little bit bigger, so, or I could just place. I could do some interesting placement of lashes. But yeah, if I just put the water-based metallic on them, I don't think they would stay very well. It would just come off when I tried to put them on. They need a little kind of stickiness. Yeah, I think, let me see if I can find a way to make this work. I do have this Juvia's Place, and then this from another brand is green, like liquid shadow. I wonder if that would stick to the lashes. Might give that a little experimental try. Although there would be, I mean, it's got a like golden undertone. Give that a try. Don't judge me for having like a bunch of lashes in the middle of my floor. It's a long story. Okay, so this is, they're just a cheap set that I got on the internet. Okay. Oh, hell yeah. This is awesome. Now I'm going to have to brush them through. With a spoolie. So they don't clump. These are a little bit smaller than I thought they would be, but that's okay. So they're not going to be completely coated like they typically are, but because this is going to dry down, it's not going to remain sticky like a cream would when I cover them. But they are going to be, just going to smooth it out a little bit. But they are going to be much more metallic. So I don't know if you can tell. Like, see, they're like more metallic. They're still dark, but I think it's gonna look cool. I also like that these come in. Oops. I also like that these come in like little easy containers like this, because it's like, okay, done with your makeup. Here you go, so that you can put these on. You can take them off and keep them for a little bit. I don't think the bottom lip needs any like contouring or like shading or anything. I like that it's the kind of yellow gold that I had in the area, because I wanted to have like the lower lip kind of, I didn't want to create like a full underbite look, but I wanted kind of some kind of illusion with the mouth. So I think that's where I wanted them. So I'm going to take these lashes off, and then I'm going to stick them so I can get the underside and paint that. I hate when they're so sticky. No, when you are painting lashes, you have to paint both sides. Otherwise, it looks a little cray-cray. Cray-cray. My gosh, who am I? Okay. And then gonna brush through, because it's starting to get real clumpy now. Now, when it's clumpier, you do see the color better, but you know, you have clumpy lashes. So I'm going to take the spoolie, and this is the spoolie I used for glue earlier, so it doesn't have. And then I'm gonna take this through my lashes just to have the same coloring. Oh God. Oh no, there's a little spot underneath, whatever. Why am I having such a problem right now? So they have like that little bit of that metallic going. That just looked very stupid, me trying to put that on my eyelid. Now, I could just like, I probably would have better success just like literally painting my lashes, but whatever. Okay. So these should be dry. Let me look at the sizing of these. Usually you have to cut them down. It's pretty unusual to not have to cut them. So let me see. Yeah, we're gonna need to cut these puppies a little bit. Okay. I also have some glitter mascara that is the owner said it's best if you paint it on. I wonder if I could use that to kind of just merge the two lashes. Sorry, I have my mouse like hovered over the camera button, so I keep turning it off. That's my mistake. I do apologize. Okay, so okay, so glue these up and then let them get tacky. Now they are probably gonna stick to my fingers pretty hardcore trying to put them on, considering one, that they are first time lashes, meaning that they have not been like trained into my eye shape, and two, because they have like the liquid eyeshadow on them already. So, and they're sticking to my fingers already. So this should be a little fun experiment. Okay, so I'm gonna let those get a little tacky. I'm going to curl my lashes. Not that it'll do anything, but this is the glitter mascara from Sunset Makeup. It's admittedly not my favorite product from them, and I really, really like Sunset Makeup, but it just, I don't think it's served like I needed. Okay, lashes. They already have like a really like natural curl to them. Yeah, the natural curl is very apparent. Now, painting them did make the band really, really visible, but they're fake lashes. Like, sometimes that happens. Oh, you're sticking me. Pissing me off. Okay. Are you going to stick or are you going to be a pain in my dick? Okay. 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 Yeah, it's just like, yeah, this is definitely like a paint on product. This is not the best vessel for this, but I think they found that out because I wrote them and I was like, hey, I love your stuff, but this is not working. And they had kind of figured out that this is the best way to use it. Very super sweet. Okay, make sure that is stuck down. Make sure all my piercings are clean enough. Okay, I think. Oh wait, I wanted to do more black on the neck. Then it can be kind of more angular like that. Okay, I think this actually turned out pretty cool. I'm happy with it, and I'm not going to change anything else about it because I'm done with it. I'm ready to take it off. The minute I put on these very stiff painted lashes, I was like, nope, I'm done. I'm ready to take it off. But thank you for hanging out with me. And I know I had to leave early because of that call in the middle, but it turned out okay. I think it turned out pretty good, all things considered. So thanks for hanging out with me, and I will be posting these on my makeup Instagram and maybe on TikTok. I don't know. Been trying, like TikTok seems like a good way to reach people, so whatever. But yeah, if you want to follow my makeup Instagram and my makeup YouTube channel, I really appreciate that. Helps me reach other people. So cool. Thank you.